ladies and gents, my name is John, and welcome to the first kind of real episode of the Nexus series that's actually in-game rather than a roadmap. I've made pretty steady progress on the Starfighters, which is going to be the first thing I work on, and I will probably have more obscure ones in the future, but these are going to be the main primarily manufactured ones that you'll commonly see in the hangars and stuff. I didn't want to have too many because, then I'd have to make ships, like carriers, be specific for a certain type of ship, and it'd be all kind of a mess. What I will begin off as a first note is this is going to be the basic design for a docking clamp. Now, eventually, I'd like to have, like I said, big kind of carriers, like imagine an aircraft carrier in space, and most likely underneath it would carry a bunch of fighters. Or just ships. So this is the clamping ring that will be uniform on most of those ships that have that. Something that I might go back and do is add a ring on top. If I had item frames in this is 1.12.2, so I can't put them on top, but if I could, I'd put them on top for like a docking ring, so they could just dock to the bottom of a ship and climb right out. But anyways, sorry, a little sidetracked. These connect to every ship. There's a point, so for example, it could go like this. It's going to be a very obviously a very rough version of it, but it gets the point across like that. So that works for every single ship. Now some of them have landing gear and some of them just lay on their bellies. This one is unique in the fact that its engines rotate. Initially I had more ships planned for rotating wings and stuff. That's something I actually kind of forgot about, and I might go back and change. Like have wings that fold up when they land and stuff, but this is the only one currently that folds. This is its flight model. I guess model. This is the A3 Heavy. The names might change. That's just the basic name for now. See the engines. It looks alright. I'm not super happy with them. I think it'll look a lot better when they're either docked or they are just flying in space, rather than the stone on the bottom kind of breaks up the colors a bit. And all of these you kind of can sit in. What you can do, or I guess what I can do, and this is something I've kept in mind, is you could put a minecart in there and sit in it, which I think is super cool. The view sucks, but it's possible. Actually, I guess you could also do this. Let me just fix that. Nope. So you could either... Hold on. I'm gonna have to do a tricky maneuver. Nope. Hold on. Sorry, I just have an idea real quick that I haven't experimented with before. There we go. Yeah, that's almost a perfect view right now. So if I were to get some glass really quickly. I'm sorry, I'm getting really distracted, but you'll see. It'll be cool if it works. So if I put a piston up here. Push that into the minecart, and then sit in it. There we go. I am in the glass, and this is what the view would look like from the ship, and I think this is super cool. And if you were in like a convoy, you'd look out and see the other ships by the side. So that's pretty cool. It's minecart compatible, and if you break a block, you can get the same view, but it's better and more preferable with the minecart. But yep, that's pretty cool. Okay, I'm just making sure I fix that correctly. Gonna clear my inventory very quickly. Okay, so yeah, this is the I guess the landed version. It's engines rotate and the landing gear comes out, so that's easy to change the configuration. Then this is the A2 light interceptor. This is just kind of a little ship that you'd see zipping around. Here's what the engines look like from the back. It's just kind of a little beam, so that's pretty cool. Now this next one is a lot more akin to a modern day fighter, like a F-17 or something like that. I don't know, not F-17, like a, I don't know, just, you know, some kind of actual jet in real life. It's very sleek. Now this is just kind of a standard Starfighter, the A1 Starfighter. It's got guns on it. Then the engine kind of looks fat from the back, so I'll probably edit that just a tiny bit. But the whole idea is that it has this kind of big engine in the back which propels, you know, most of the ship. Now lastly, I have the B-1 light bomber. This wasn't originally going to be a bomber, it was going to be a gunship, but I kind of, it has a lot of space in the middle to walk in or to store cargo, so I thought it would make sense to be a bomber, and it looks like one too. So yeah, it's got the stubby nose, which is an important characteristic of a bomber. The engines are pretty uniform in the back. You see all of these three have it in common. Or actually, these two have engines in common. This one's unique, and then those two are the same. But, yeah, these are pretty cool, I think. Oof, wait, hold on. I don't want to get rid of the signs. Actually, never mind. I was gonna delete the bottom thing so you could see what it looks like when they're flying, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to break the signs. Okay, let me just show you really quickly what this would look like when it's flying, because that's, like I said, they look pretty messy with the stone backdrop, but you know, when you see these kind of flying with the engine trails behind them, I think they look really nice. And I think it'll also be important to have capital ships be accompanying them eventually. Times 1300, so you could have the capital ships as a backdrop as these kind of soar through and kind of soar through the fleet. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Got the glow of the engines and stuff. So that looks pretty good. That looks proper and appropriate for what I'm going for. And I think this is a pretty good start. I wasn't too keen on these ships at first. If I were to rank them, I didn't like that one at first, but I'd have to say that's my favorite. So that one, then that one, and I'd say these two are tied. Yeah, they're nice. I think I like them all a pretty similar amount of love each, which is good. You know, because then I just favor a couple, and they each have their specific use. So in most hangars, you'd see this one and that one, then a couple of these and maybe a couple of these. Yep, that's pretty good. A couple other notes is, it's really irritating. So, actually, before I go on to that, the color scheme is going to be white and black for the U.N.N, the United Nexus Navy. So another thing is, I had a really good idea, and I was going to make a whole episode on it, is I was going to use maps for the logos, because making the logos for the manufacturers, I haven't showed all of them yet, because some of them I've been working on at school and did not show in the first episode, but I'd like to make logos for the companies. I'm really happy with the Ion logo, which if you go to the previous episode you could see, and it's really irritating. So I was like, okay, so what if I used maps and put them on item frames, and I could literally have the logos painted on the sides of the ship, and I'd have like 6 of them. And I thought it was a really good idea, and you know, it's gonna be pretty cool. But unfortunately, so I did it, it looked good. I deleted it, it used to be right there. But I made the Ion logo, it took me about half an hour, and like I said, it looked really good. But when I put it on the ship, I noticed that you could see the border of the item frame, so it looked out of place. My hope was that because it had a black backdrop that it would blend in with the concrete, but it didn't because of that outline. And also, it was too pixely, so you'd go like this far away, which is how far you'd usually see the ships, and it, you know, like, not necessarily pixely, but it kind of like glitch in and out. So that was unfortunate because I spent a lot of, actually I didn't spend that much time on it, but I was thinking about getting pretty ambitious with that idea. But yeah, I think that's all. Next episode we'll be doing commercial ships, tugboats, and yeah, pretty much just tugboats and commercial ships. Not all of them, because I will have more commercial ships in the future. but it'll just be some very basic Argus ships. Argus is my main commercial manufacturer, but I think this is a good start. I really like what's going on, and I believe that is all I have to say. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll watch the next one.